Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever felt like you're just leaking power during a heavy lift, or maybe you're hitting a wall in your sprint speed, well, the secret to fixing that often lies right in the very center of your body. Today, we're totally demystifying a muscle group that is notoriously undertrained, and we're going to break down the mechanics of building some truly explosive hip flexor strength. Let's get right into it.
Okay, here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the crucial core connection, move into a really important safety disclaimer, and then we're going to break down two intense movements, the advanced Psoas Sit-Up and the standing Psoas March. Finally, we'll wrap up with how you can share your feedback with us.
All right, section 1, the crucial core connection.
So I always like to start with this slightly provocative question. Why do most athletes totally neglect the most important muscle in their body? Seriously, think about your typical gym routine for a second. We stretch our hip flexors all the time, right? Especially if we've been hunched over a desk all day. But we rarely, if ever, load them with serious, focused strength training. I mean, you wouldn't just stretch your hamstrings and never actually do a deadlift, but crazy enough, that's exactly how most people treat their anterior core and hip flexors. Now, what's really fascinating here is the psoas major itself. This is your primary hip flexor, and it is literally the only muscle in the entire human body that bridges your spine directly to your legs. It's kind of like a master puppet string connecting your top half to your bottom half. It actually originates up in your thoracic and lumbar spine, crosses right through your pelvis, and attaches to the femur. It is the anatomical suspension bridge that makes standing, running, and jumping even possible. Without it, your upper and lower body would essentially be completely disconnected.
And this perfectly illustrates why just passively stretching this muscle is not going to cut it. Flexibility is honestly only half the battle. You absolutely need dynamic strength to stabilize your pelvis and hold on to your athletic power. When you're sprinting or lifting heavy, your hip flexors have to instantly fire and co-contract with your abdominals just to stabilize your lower spine. If you don't have that coordination, you get what's called a performance bleed. Your energy literally leaks out through poor posture instead of propelling you forward. Building dynamic strength is what creates a truly resilient athlete.
Moving on to section 2, and this is a big one, an important safety disclaimer.
Listen, because we're dealing with the absolute deepest muscles of your spine and pelvis here, safety has to come first. This explainer is strictly for educational and knowledge purposes. It is not a substitute for individualized medical or athletic advice. We're about to break down the mechanics of some highly advanced movements so you can understand the how and why, but knowing the theory definitely doesn't mean you should just go try and max these out on day one.
So please, hit pause and consult a professional, certified trainer for individual guidance before attempting these. These exercises put very unique loads on your lumbar spine and your pelvis, and you really need a coach watching your form to make sure you aren't accidentally compensating with your lower back. Your health is everything, so train smart, guys.
Okay, section 3. Let's dive into the advanced Psoas Sit-Up.
With the safety boundaries set, let's look at the mechanics of this highly advanced unilateral variation of a Psoas sit-up. Guys, this is not your old-school gym class crunch. This is a hyper-targeted movement that isolates that spine-to-leg connection. We can break the biomechanics down into 3 distinct phases: the suspended leg, the anchored leg and torso, and finally the concentric sit-up. Looking at it this way really shows how your body acts like an integrated system of levers and pulleys.
All right, phase 1. By holding one leg up in the air, you are forcing the hip flexors of that suspended leg into an isometric contraction, literally just to fight gravity and keep it elevated. So you aren't even really moving yet, but your muscles are already working overtime just to maintain that static hold in the air. To get specific, the muscles holding that tension without any movement are your iliopsoas, your rectus femoris, which is a major quad muscle, and your sartorius. They are totally locked in, acting as this incredibly rigid anchor point so the rest of your body can move around it.
Next up is the movement itself. When you lean your torso all the way backward off the bench, your abdominals and the psoas of your anchored leg are working eccentrically to control your descent. They're lengthening under tension, basically acting as the brakes. But then, when you sit back up, it's a completely different story. They abruptly switch gears and work concentrically to forcefully pull your spine and torso right back up towards your lower body. It's a massive, dynamic shift.
And this specific action directly targets the proximal, or the upper end of your psoas, right alongside your spinal flexors. By forcing one leg to suspend while the other anchors you down, you're demanding that your core stabilize against rotational forces and extension forces all at the exact same time. Honestly, it's an absolute masterclass in building a bulletproof midsection. Moving right along to Section 4, Standing Psoas March Mechanics.
Now, we're taking things off the bench and getting on our feet using a standing psoas march with leg races over a vertical dumbbell. This is great because it simulates the exact mechanics you use in real-world running and walking. To do this safely and effectively, you've got 3 core components: your primary movers, your secondary assisting muscles, and that all-important core stabilization. Let's break those down.
First off, by actively lifting your leg up and over that vertical dumbbell, you are forcing the iliopsoas, which, remember, is the combo of the psoas major and the iliacus muscles, to contract and perform pure hip flexion. You are literally demanding that these deep muscles generate the power to lift your heavy leg entirely on their own.
Second, because you're lifting the leg and moving it side to side over the dumbbell, you get this massive secondary engagement. You heavily engage the rectus femoris on the front of your thigh to lift, and the adductors on the inside of your thigh step in to assist in bringing that leg laterally back and forth over the offskull. It's a hugely functional multiplanar exercise.
And finally, component number 3, the core anchor. Doing this from a standing position forces your grounded leg and a strongly braced abdominal core to act as an anchor to stabilize your pelvis. This is absolutely crucial. A strong, braced core gives your hip flexors the stable platform they need to operate efficiently. Without it, your pelvis just dumps forward, and all that stress goes straight into your lower back.
All right, on to our final section. Subscribe and share feedback. We've covered a ton of advanced biomechanics today, from the deep anatomy of the spine to leg connection all the way to eccentric and concentric mechanics. But now we want to hear from you. What specific fitness, anatomy, or performance topics do you want us to break down next? We read every single comment, and we really want to build our future explainers around exactly what you want to learn.
So please make sure to subscribe to the channel and definitely drop your topic requests and feedback in the comments below. Remember, mastering your physical body always starts with mastering the knowledge behind it. So, are you going to keep letting your most crucial athletic muscles go undertrained, or are you finally ready to build that bridge between your upper and lower body? Think about it, and we'll see you in the next explainer.